Welcome to CityWise. I'm your host, Tiana Stevens. CityWise is produced by the City of Rochester to shine a spotlight on city living at its best. Well, with more than 500 performances and events across dozens of venues, the KeyBank Rochester Fringe Festival turns downtown into a multidisciplinary visual and performing arts celebration of the unexpected. Now in its 6th year, Rochester Fringe has evolved into one of the top fringe festivals in the nation, attracting tens of thousands of people to our city's center each year. Joining us to tell us more is DeTurck, Creative Director of the Rochester Fringe Festival, Jayme Bermudez, Director of TRU ART Dance Company, and Nazareth College Professor Candide Carrasco, who's also a playwright and director at Rochester Latino Theater Company. Thanks for coming on. What a cast today. So Matt, we're going to start with you. Start us off with just a short history of the Fringe movement, and 2017 is a big year, right?
It is. It's actually the 70th anniversary of Fringe Festivals worldwide. So Fringes started in Edinburgh, Scotland, 70 years ago, and it happened when a group of performers showed up to perform at an international arts festival that they had there, and they were turned away. So in that case, they just went to street corners, coffee shops, and just did their presentations, their shows anyway, and so they were on the fringe of that other festival. But since then, it is actually, the term has come to mean a multidisciplinary arts festival, usually uncurated. So it's, in effect, it's for everyone and anyone.
It really is. There's so much going on. And Jayme, this is not your first Fringe. Tell us a little bit about TRU ART and what are you bringing this year?
Well, okay, so TRU ART, this is a good time to be here again. We've been here before. TRU ART has done a couple of things with Fringe in the past. We've done the True Rock Stories with Rock Bottom last year. We also participated with the Kaja Fall with Rappa the year before that. And this year, we are proud to be the face of Fringe's Street Beat, which is a dance competition, an all-style dance competition that is happening at Fringe on September 23rd, and it is pretty awesome. If you guys didn't see it last year, this is our 2nd year doing it, then you really want to get there and see it this year.
I'm excited for that. Candide, every year since 1984, you've produced a play, and this is your 4th year at Fringe, so you're kind of a veteran here. What are you bringing this year?
I'm not a veteran. I have been doing this. I started, I was 4. So you see, I'm still very young.
Oh, yes, yes.
So, well, this year at Fringe, we bring a new play, Rosalba Dream Me Pumps. That it's a comedy, kind of like a dark comedy by moment, but mostly it, we try to give a voice to the Hispanic Latino community and to make sure that they are present on stage. It's such a rarity, so that's what we want to do.
And this is going to be presented in English and Spanish, but you need not know either language, really, because there's some common themes, right?
Yes. And actually, I mean, what happened is with a Latino community, or I think for any community that lives outside the country where they come from, we have a tendency of speaking half in English and half in Spanish. Right. So we start a sentence and we go into the Spanish, and that's a very normal thing to do. It's not artificial. So that allows us to really have this duality of presentation that an English audience and Anglo audience will catch, and obviously the Spanish-speaking audience will enjoy it.
Right.
So,
how is this different from some of the other works you've brought in the past?
It is different because, in a way, it was extremely difficult to write this play. I wrote it during the summer, and even, what happened most of the time when I write is that it takes me a whole year to have this in my mind, and especially the characters. And then after that, I sit down and I put it together. And well, actually, they put themselves together. Somehow magical magic, and it happens. But the background was pretty grim. I wanted to write a comedy, and the circumstances, the political circumstances, etc., were so dark that I had to kind of like fight with that and make sure that somehow the audience is going to enjoy it, is going to laugh a lot,
Right.
it's going to be surprised or shocked maybe.
We won't give it all away.
but also they will, you know, it's not fluff. I mean, it cannot be in nowadays with what we have going on. It is criminal to just do fluff.
Matt, how did Rochester become so popular over the years? Just really a short amount of time for festivals.
So we have benefited from having obviously a wonderful arts community in Rochester that already existed and has been very supportive of Fringe and of its continued growth. And one of the ways that we've been successful at growing it so quickly is the fact that we're a bifurcated festival. So about 70 to 80% of it is shows applying directly to venues.
Okay.
And they, in effect, the venues sort through and decide what they want.
Okay.
But we also curate a small portion of it, some large outdoor spectacles. This year is Plasticien Volant, and some outdoor music and some site-specific work to therefore help provide some focus to bring people downtown.
Right.
Because therefore we found that people, once we get them, then they stay, and then
yeah.
they tend to start seeing all sorts of other wonderful shows that are downtown.
Wonderful. So for those who have not fringed before, what is the Fringe footprint downtown? Where are we talking?
So our hub is One Fringe Place, which is at the corner of Main and Gibb Street. It's across from the Eastman Theater.
Okay.
And we primarily are centered in the East End and the neighborhood of the arts. So this year we go from Parcel 5 down to about the Eastman Museum, I think.
Let's go back to the headliner, the Friday on the Fringe, the wonderful show, and you actually got to see that in person.
I did.
Okay, tell us about that.
It's amazing. So the French group, Plasticien Volant, we're bringing them from France. They've created giant inflatables. The show is called Big Bang. It's about the origin of the universe. It has planets and it has eyeballs, and it's really, really interesting. It's all hand painted, and it's this amazing show because it happens right above you. So we're encouraging people to stand in the middle of Parcel 5 and let it just transport you by surrounding your entire being. It's just fantastic.
Jayme had a good description for that earlier.
I did. It's like the Lion King meets the Macy's Day Parade.
Perfect.
And you can get up and personal with
Right.
these balloons, kind of touch them while the actors are running.
There's
through the
actually actors who are, on tethers. They get very, very close to you. There's some reflective mirrors. There's some smoke and light. It all is a very, almost a visceral experience that happens to you while you're just kind of a part of it. It's very transportive. It's really cool.
Excellent. So I always say if it's free, it's for me. And I know that show is one of the free ones. What are some of the other free shows that people can find?
So Plasticien Volant is at 8 p.m. this Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
And it's part of Friday and Saturday on the Fringe, which is a larger celebration, in effect, of downtown and the arts. And there will be live outdoor music that's free. There's food trucks. There's drinks available. And then we also there's a wide variety of free events. There's some wonderful stuff happening the second weekend. Street Beat is absolutely it's amazing. And this year we're so excited that it's going to be outdoors on Gibb Street, so even more people can experience it because it's just so cool. And there's on the same day, it's also a kids' day that we're having outdoors as well. There's live music, there's storytelling in the garden, there's kids pumpkin painting. That one's not free, but it's $5. So it's a wonderful, the second Saturday, the 23rd, has so much stuff happening in the footprint. It's great.
Wonderful. So Jayme, back to Street Beat.
Yes.
TRU ART is so versatile. I've seen you guys, do so many different things. What kind of styles of dance are we going to see at Street Beat?
So one, I really have to just take a moment and just congratulate Johnny Lee for kind of bringing this to Fringe last year, right? Because there's so many things happening in our community, and street dance, or what we call vernacular styles, they're separate from the technical styles, don't get as much a light as the technical styles. And there was such a great group last year with, you know, all ages, all races, all genders, just really supporting this movement. And so for those people that don't know what the vernacular styles or what street styles are, some people want to just say it's hip hop. It's not. There's so many different layers to it, just like ballet is not contemporary, right? And contemporary is not lyrical. So you'll see some flexing, you'll see some brook up, you'll see some crump, you'll see some b-boying, which has like a lot of like contortion and movement to it. You'll see some lyrical hip hop, you know, you'll see a little bit of maybe African movement or technical. The one thing I want people to understand, it's an all style battle. So even if you are a technical dancer, come out with your group and compete against the other dancers.
It's only $5 for a group to compete,
It's only $5 for a group, and it's a 3-on-3, right? You don't have to have 3 to battle, but the cap is 3 dancers. And like what we said earlier, it is free, and it's happening on a day where children are around too as well. And one of the things that we want to let people know is that, you know, Street Beat also celebrates the kids all the way to the older people. I'm not a spring chicken, you know, but I will be dancing.
Like Candide?
I will be dancing. Yeah, no, he's got me over here. He's a lot younger.
What's the competition look like for this year?
Competition is looking great. So last year we had some people from Toronto, we had some people from Buffalo, we had some people from Pennsylvania, so we're expecting those people again. We had a really good group of Rochester dancers here, and some of those dancers, you know, I know personally because they've come through TRU ART doors. TRU ART had a few dancers out as well. TRU ART is bringing 3 teams this time because we know we couldn't go as a whole group, you know, but we're expecting some really, really good talent to come down, and we are absolutely hoping that those Draper dancers, those Garth Fagan dancers, those dancers come out too and support the movement. You know, we're celebrating dance and also compete too as well, right? Because the one thing I was telling someone else at another interview that we did is that, you know, anybody can dance. Right? Anybody can dance. How good you are in dancing is another question. But anybody can dance, so you should just come out and just have the fun, you know? So.
Candide, who do you hope comes out to Rosalba's Dream Me Pumps? And you've got another show in Fringe, by the way.
Yeah. Well, first of all, obviously, I would like to make sure that the Latino community comes and see itself on stage.
And this is an adult show.
It is an adult show. It is. It is absolutely an adult show.
Let's just be clear.
But the theme, but the language, and everything. The costumes. But also, obviously, you know, in the past we had a lot of people who came to see our plays. You know, like we started 4 years ago with Chocolate Casi Amargo, and we did El Merengue Lleva Sal, and last year was Rumba y Mojito Picante. And this year, the title is completely in English, so Rosalba Dream Me Pumps. And we hope, like in the other years, that we'll have a lot of English-speaking people coming, people who are interested in gender and issues, in, again, lesbian issues, and then obviously people who just want to spend a wonderful time, laughing a lot, and feeling. I mean, this is very, we say in French, ludique. It's something that touches your soul at the same time that it touches all your senses. So that's what we try to do with a fabulous cast. So.
And Matt, speaking of touching your soul, so many of the Fringe shows are really designed for, you know, direct audience engagement, right? So what can we expect along those lines? I know we've got the immersive igloo, things like that.
Yeah, so there are several shows that are in the Spiegel Garden at One Fringe Place this year, which specifically involve actual audience interaction. One is the immersive igloo. It's this 40-foot tall inflatable igloo. When they set it up, we were like, it's bigger than we even thought it was going to be. Like, it's got lights inside. There's Bushwhacked also that's in the Spiegel Garden, which involves 3 performers this year, and the audience sits around and they play off of suggestions from people. There's the Story Chick Story Booth where you can record actually memories and thoughts you've had for posterity. There's even things that maybe you wouldn't normally think of as being slightly more engaging, like watching a movie. We have Pedestrian Drive-In, which projects movies outdoors on a screen. It's
So
free,
fun.
but you wear headphones for it, so we're not actually putting the music or the soundtrack out loud. You borrow the headphones, and then you get to listen to the entire audio track of the movie, so you can, in effect, get a drink, get some food from food trucks, you can wander around, and you can still enjoy the movie.
Okay, is silent disco coming back, speaking of headphones?
Silent disco is coming back. It's both Friday and Saturday nights.
Okay.
It's so much fun. It's, again, yes, in terms of a headphone situation, it's you. There's live DJs in the middle of the Spiegel tent, and they're mixing live, but it's all being broadcast to headphones. So the moment you take your headphones off, it's just a room of people kind of like stomping
Dancing.
around. Yeah.
All to different music,
All
right?
to different music. There's 3 channels, so you might not be dancing to what your neighbor's dancing to, and it's such a wonderful like nighttime activity for like friends. It's
much
great.
fun.
It's so much fun.
The kids disco as well.
There is kids disco.
Looking
yeah.
forward to that. Jayme, how has Rochester Fringe changed things for the work that you do and your mission?
I think it's done a lot of positive things. And again, like I said, last year, it was just refreshing to see so many people come out and support an art style that doesn't get a lot of light. And as we've interviewed before, the dancers that I work with are from the inner city, and the work that I do, caters to at-risk youth in the community, and providing a platform for the community to see what they do in a positive light. So many times the Jazz Fest comes on and you see some of these dancers like dancing on the side of the street, and some of those dancers are my dancers, and what they're doing is they're just taking this classical music and they're being expressive with it, and they're getting the audience involved. But with Street Beat at Fringe, it's celebrating actually what they're meant to do, and you've seen us in the community so many times. They do African dance, they do contemporary and lyrical and all these great things, but this is their forte. This is what they absolutely love. And so for me to be able to have this moment with Fringe and have all these dancers that I see in the community that want this kind of outlet, and us doing Battle for the Rock and taking these same ideas of battles into the rec centers, this kind of really makes me feel like Rochester is now really embracing what we are and what I do for my work and with the company. So it's refreshing. It's refreshing.
What are some of the things that people from the community have said to you after seeing Street Beat or just seeing true art out in the community?
One, it's where can we sign up? How much does it cost? And one of the things I want people to know is that just like Street Beat, Fringe is a free opportunity. If I can keep, I initially started it to provide a safe place, a safe haven for young people in the community, so that way they had a positive outlet. And so, the other thing is that, they ask, how hard is it? Can you teach me to dance? I haven't been able to dance. Like I said, anybody can dance.
Even if you have no rhythm?
Even if you have no rhythm. Walking can turn into a dance.
May or may not be me. Okay.
Well, we're going to see, because, we got the dancers in the studio later. So.
It's the shoes. I don't
it's the shoes.
dancing
Okay.
shoes today.
But anybody can do it, and I think that's the one, thing that we preach, when anybody asks us, because, we have dancers that you'll see that bend and twist and do all these great things. It's that, your confidence. If you just have that small ounce of confidence, we can work with that. We can turn that into something. So,
Candide, how about you? How has Fringe changed things for you as a playwright?
Well, as we were talking earlier, I have been at Nazareth for 34 years, 35. So, and I write and direct a play there every year. When Erica came and visit Nazareth and talked to us and the people in theater and interested in theater, she really invited us to participate, and that was 4 years ago. So I wrote a play for that, and with having that in mind, that I wanted to write something in Spanish and English. And after we presented, we started, I only had 2 characters in that play. And it was so successful, and the audience, wanted more. And actually, after Fringe, after doing the play at Fringe, local colleges and also colleges in the state of New York asked us to go and perform. So we did the play in several places, and we have done that since. Rumba was done elsewhere, and as well at merengue, etc., etc. So we were able to reach other audiences and to have, maybe to dream about doing, it's going to be a workshop on how to take shows from Rochester and to take them elsewhere. And we are interested in trying to do that. So I haven't said anything to my actor yet. So this, when they see this, it's going to be a surprise.
You heard it first on CityWise.
That's it.
Excellent.
So
Thank
that's
you guys
what we can to do.
so much for coming on. So many exciting things to do. You got to get a Fringe Festival guide
Absolutely.
all over the city. It's packed full of things. And again, the KeyBank Rochester Fringe Festival runs through September 23rd. For more information and a full list of events, you can also visit rochesterfringe.com. But as we close, we have a special treat for you today. TRU ART is going to give us a preview of what to expect at Fringe Street Beat. Thanks for joining us on this fringy edition of CityWise. I'm Tiana Stevens, and we'll see you next week.